Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and or the thumbnail, this is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time, courtesy of the universe through the language of synchronicity. This is timely, so if you're watching it at this time, it's perfect for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, I did a little meditation beforehand, which I sometimes do when I have time. And the card that came out for the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck is the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is a promise of fulfillment, ultimate fulfillment after difficulty. Woohoo! So this story might be about the difficulty and how it is shifting into a much better scenario. This is, there's 10 cups of love in tarot, and this is saying that you have it all. This is, the perfect partner, companion. They love you, you love them. The children you love and they love you. And you love where you're living, you love your career, that, everything is working absolutely perfectly as it can be in an imperfectly perfect world. All right, so if you've been through some hardship, then the tides are turning and things are shifting around. Now, I also took a card out from my oracle, Tales from the Vector, and this is degradation. The painting here is the degradation painting. And this is a tactic when people, I don't know, some people just really don't like to see purity. They don't want to see things clean. If something's pure, they want to see if they can muck it up a little. And so when they do that, quite often that could be on a spiritual level, or it could actually be in the physical. And if you've ever been in that kind of position and you're having a hard time forgiving yourself because you allowed for some degradation of yourself or a situation, you're not the only one. This is it's a very common tactic to make someone feel humiliated so that they are less than. It actually literally degrades your energy. And so sometimes this is someone that would be, understand very much what they're doing. They've done it before. And maybe you just never thought that that would ever be a thing. And, the shame doesn't really belong to someone who is doing their best to stay in a good, in a good spirit, in a good lifestyle, whatever. It's more about someone who has more knowledge deciding that they're going to shame you. And really, that's their shame, not yours. So it's time to let it go. And this is because this card that's coming up to begin the reading is now that you know what you know, you have conviction beyond a doubt about the direction you want to take. The element of fire is represented by the wands, and these wands are made of wood. Wood fuels fire, and it's about taking passionate action. Now, this person has he's on the top of a hill. He has gone for higher ground. He is taking a stance here. He just found out something, and now that he knows what he knows, he has conviction beyond a doubt that this is what he is going to fight for himself, and he is going to take action to be what and who he wants to be. Now, this energy, you notice, like, he has one shoe on and one boot on, and this can represent, he might have just been in a hurry to, to get out there and protect whatever it was of his. We've got, 6 people against 1 here. And so this energy is also could be the one boot on one foot and the shoe on the other, could represent being caught in between these two energies and just having realized, oh, I get it, and then now that I know what I know, I'm going to fight for what is close to my heart and what I feel I deserve, and I'm not going to be ashamed anymore. That type of energy. Stand up for myself. And this can sometimes also mean that you've been, sometimes people walk in other people's shoes and then they learn, oh, that's what's going on. And unless you sort of look at it from their perspective, then you wouldn't begin to understand. And sometimes the card can also represent an energy of someone who is actually walking in your shoes. So there's sometimes, this card can sometimes represent, forgery or copycat energy, identity theft, that type of energy. And then we have the Three of Swords. And so the Three of Swords, yes, this is the kind of energy we're talking about. So what if someone is pure of heart and you want to make sure they're no longer feeling like innocent anymore. You want to degrade their energy. That's the energy here. Not you, but like whatever this is about. Unless it is you, you would know. And so this is talking about, sometimes this can represent, a third party energy dividing a couple. And, the couple is they have so much potential and they're so happy and they're in this energy. And someone just can't stand it, so they, keep doing what they can to divide these two up. It's that type of energy. And the heartache, when you look at this card, I mean, there's three swords in it, in this heart. So you recognize, okay, this is, this isn't good. This person is definitely suffering from some sort of heartache. But when you look again and you realize the swords are very small compared to the heart in context. So this is something maybe someone could recover from. And this energy sometimes can represent harsh words being spoken. Also a lot of gossip, a lot of slander, that type of scenario. There could be perjury in court. If it's, sometimes conviction beyond a doubt actually means legal prison conviction for someone for having done something to, illegal in this energy. It's coming up. We'll keep going here. We don't know. This is a random reading. I never know what's going to come up for sure. But it's definitely someone just, sometimes just wanting to... It's almost like that. Have you ever heard of that dog in the manger kind of energy? They don't really want what you want anyway, but they just want to make sure you don't have it. And I don't know why someone would be like that, but some people just are. And so you just have to know some people just are that way. And this is talking about a heartbreaking decision needs to be made. This energy represents you need to heal your heart. You need to be able to speak your truth. This person's heart is in their throat. And this can sometimes represent an energy. We have the swords here, and swords in tarot represent the element of air. And air is like your thoughts, basically, here. The swords represent your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. And sometimes this can be about making sure that you go after what your heart desires, like that your thoughts are all directed towards what your heart desires, that your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind are all working together, plugged into your heart. So this energy represents some sort of energy of coming out of something degrading possibly and having to make a potentially heartbreaking decision. And this also represents someone that that there needs to be some sort of forgiveness, and also that someone needs to be able to forgive themselves. Now this is talking about soulmates coming together. Perhaps this is the energy here, part of this reason. There's two people. This card has been coming up a lot in my readings lately. And I feel it's just that there's a lot of people coming to changing the way that they think and the way they feel just because of the way the world is right now. There's a lot of new energy, and this could represent, this is a soul connection. This is two people that were brought together from a spiritual level, from a soul level. And they are both in direct communication with source energy. This energy here represents the communication, and it's a healthy relationship, something that is beneficial to both. The energy is highly connected to the higher self network, and I call that HSN, when you're in total connection with the Most High, and do your best to communicate in that way. And the difference, it's similar to being on the internet, but you know, on the internet you log in and log off and you know when you're on, but HSN, you have access 24/7. And you don't, you know, even if you're not aware that you are on that on HSN. And this sometimes also can represent just you yourself coming together, your masculine and feminine energies becoming very level and together, you know, balanced, and being in strong connection to the source energy. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is quite a ways from this energy, because this is talking about a strong foundation for making money. The Pentacles in Tarot represent your health and wealth and happiness on planet Earth. And of course, money is a very big part of that, and that's why the coin is representing the Pentacle energy. But you could have all the money in the world and not have your health and love in your life, and then you wouldn't be living your ultimate lifestyle. So this is more about lifestyle, but in general with the Pentacles. But in this particular card, we're talking about the 3 stages of making money. And the first is like safe money. This is, okay, you have enough to pay your bills, and you know, you're on time, and you've got a good credit rating and all that, but you don't have enough to actually play with or go after your heart's desires. And then from there is your crowning glory. And your crowning glory is when you're on your destined path, and it might be quite big, and you might need quite a bit of financial you know, ability to manifest at a high level to complete whatever that is. So this is talking about someone who's found something out, basically, and now that they know what they know, that they are standing up for themselves. They have conviction beyond a doubt. This is the direction, whatever that is, that they're going to go through. This has maybe been after a healing period, after going through something that was very challenging, and maybe you had to make a real heartbreaking decision, and you made it. And perhaps now you have a soulmate coming into your life, and maybe that is part of the energy. You needed to clear something here for this to be able to happen. And you know, it's like, and this is another thing, it's this person has their back to the city. And so sometimes this can represent, you have to leave your comfort zone sometimes. So you might be worried about getting in connection with someone, or being in that energy again, because it makes you feel vulnerable. But this is saying, you know, you have to leave your comfort zone, and sometimes you just have to turn your back on the city you came from, and just move forward. Like, you have to recognize, this isn't for me anymore. This can sometimes represent selling yourself short in the past, like opportunities coming your way and you didn't take them, maybe because of this energy here. And now you realize that, no, I'm moving forward in the strongest way that I can. I'm not going to degrade my own energy anymore. And yes, this gives you passion. This is a new ace coming in. So the aces represent this fresh energy, brand new energy coming in. And the wand, there's the passion there. It's a passion for taking new actions and being able to go after whatever it is that you really want in your heart, and going after your heart's desires. And I feel like this is a gift from the divine and the universe collaborating to for you to say, okay, I'll take this opportunity. I'm willing to take that risk. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Yes, this is after learning the art of discernment the hard way. So the Queen of Swords is one of 4 queens in the minor arcana. And she is considered to be the coldest queen of them all, because she's been there, done that, and she has the t-shirt. She has a souvenir. She no longer wishes to participate in bullshit. She does have her left hand out, so she's saying, okay, God, I'm willing to go after this ultimate fulfillment, and with this passion for new life, possibly with this soulmate. I've done a lot of work to heal my heart. I have my head above the clouds now. I know what I do and do not want. And, you know, if someone comes into me, though, and they they're full of bullshit, I am going to say, off with their heads. She longs for the days of old when that was a thing. And then this is the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is talking about something that you wish for, but you don't quite have yet. This card is saying that this can imply that you are a public figure, or maybe this soulmate energy is a public figure, or maybe this, whatever happened here involved a public figure. That this looks like there's a stage. This person's on the stage. Their body language is a little bit incongruent here. You know, the Nine of Cups means that you're highly favored to receive these 9 cups. So that, you know, there's this promise of the 10 of Cups in the end. But I feel that back here in this energy, you were highly favored to receive the 9 cups right here already. And then some bullshit happened. And it put you in a position of... you know, not reaching the level that you could have, basically, if that makes sense. But you still haven't, it left you, the universe left you with enough to keep moving forward so that you would have the discernment. If you were given another gift to move forward again, are you going to have the discernment to be able to choose wisely? Ah, there we go. And so this energy is saying there could be a public figure involved, or this could be a very public thing that happened. I'm not sure exactly what for sure, but you might have an idea. This is random, so I just take it as it comes here. The energy is talking about these 9 cups. We don't know, are they in the past on a shelf behind his head? Are they above his head, or are they forward and he's, you know, back from this? So it's in the future. And he's sitting here, and his body language, like when someone sits with their feet out like this, it means they're leaking a lot of energy from their base chakra. And that's about, you know, your ability to provide for yourself, that your fears about survival, etc. And I feel it has, again, something to do with this energy. Or this could be the person who's responsible for bringing that about into your life. And this is someone who, at the same time, has infinite potential. Like, this is almost like a genie, and they're very productive, but somehow lost focus, or... yeah, they're like, because this is saying to be able to gain this 10 of Cups now, what you need to do is keep your focus and not be distracted by anyone or anything. Even maybe this is some public figure that you get distracted by, whatever that energy is. And then we have... okay, so this card quite often represents a need to heal some inner child wounds. This could be because it's sitting right on this energy also with the swords here. And I feel like this is coming up that, you know, something may have happened in your childhood that really was traumatic for you. You may or may not remember it, because quite often when we're really young, we don't have clarity about much of what happens to us because it's in our subconscious mind, basically. And we sometimes will forget, like just disassociate from it if it was traumatic enough. So this is talking about wanting to go with God to calmer waters and heal from whatever this is so that you can move forward. You're recognizing that there was something that happened here that caused you to not have the, like, not to understand what was going on. And it's something to do with the way you love people, the way you approach relationships, that sort of energy. And it could be different for a lot of people. And this is talking about, you know, rough waters represent a lot of volatile emotion and sort of chaos in your life. So you could have had a chaotic upbringing. There could have been, you know, a lot of shift happening in your life back when you were little, and that's heavily imprinted on you. You could have like negative associations with you know, being in relationships, trusting other people because of it. And you know, the worst thing that can happen is when someone would degrade the innocence of another human being and go out of their way to do that. But sometimes that does happen. So this is saying, hey, I want to go off to calmer waters with God and be able to move forward in a really strong way. So this is about doing the healing work that you need to do through meditation and prayer and asking for God's assistance in healing this, because you do want this. But and you feel you have the discernment now, but there's still something that's holding you back, and you feel it's from your childhood, but you yourself cannot put your finger on what that is. You notice this adult and child do not have any baggage, and so this is about that journey. The conveyor here has to use this pole, this long pole, to push this little boat off the shore. To be able to, and dig deep into the mud, you know, to push it forward. And that's basically what this is saying, that you need to dig deep so that you can figure out what is going on and heal that. And then let's see what happens then. Then you have this passion coming in. So the Page of Wands is talking about some form of communication coming in. And this is from the age of, the pages would work for the King and Queen from the ages of 7 to 14. And then, you know, back in those days, you have to remember that the life expectancy was only half of what it is now. And so they didn't have childhood like we think of it here. So this would be someone that came from one of the surrounding families of the royalty. And this would be a real coup to get this job. You know, and they would work at the palace, and they would be delivering communication. Basically, that was their main job, is to deliver communication around the palace and run tasks and little, you know, tasks, run errands, that sort of energy. And this would be a feather in the cap. You know, this person's dressed up, and this is like a young masculine energy. By the time they were 21, if they were doing a really good job, they might even be considered for knighthood if they could afford a horse. And so this Page of Wands is representing a very enthusiastic young masculine energy. In the old days, this would always be a male, but this could be a female. The tarot cards are actually not gender specific. They're representing masculine and feminine energy. And the information would always have been delivered in person back then, but nowadays it could be so many ways that we do communicate, and that communication could be like a phone call, a text message, maybe someone, you know, something comes in the mail, you're on social media, someone messages you, you go to an event, and then you run into someone and you meet in person. Also, it's a really good idea to keep an eye on what's happening at the top of the pyramid between the leaders of countries and what's going on around the world, just even for 5 minutes to get an idea, because sometimes that can give you you know, an idea of what the trends are for business and what's going on in the world, basically. And it can open doors for your mind, like to come up with new ideas. And so this is talking about this person's love for that adventure of the unknown and wanting to explore the world and explore all the wonders of the world. He's very passionate about his wand. That's his element. This is fire. And you know, this is the ability, the wood fuels the fire, and it's about passionate action from the deep roots from the ancestors, as well as the offshoots at the top here, representing the tree for the descendants. So this is really moving forward with a legacy in mind. And the one thing about the Page of Wands that you have to keep in mind is he really loves his wand. And so sometimes with all this masculine enthusiasm, and you know, he is maybe thinking with his little head rather than his big head. So sometimes his thoughts can be scrambled because he's got his mind on other things. So you just have to keep that in mind, and you know, take what he says with a grain of salt. And then we have the Knight of Cups. So there is some new passionate love coming in if you can overcome this and be more like in this energy, where you come back to your innocence of having faith that there are a lot of really good people on the planet. Not everybody is like the energy that you dealt with here, and that you deserve this in your life. The Knight of Cups is dressed to the nines. He's the knight in shining armor that saves the damsel in distress, but you don't need to be a damsel in distress. You're an independent queen, and you don't need anyone to protect you from life. You already have decided that you can protect yourself, and this is that you're independent. And this is very important to the Queen of Swords. It's not, some people consider that cold, but she just considers it to be the way she prefers to be, and that's just the way it is. And so, but this, whoever this energy is, of this soulmate, we don't really see a particular person. Could be this energy. It doesn't have to be. There's not really a clear picture of that. What it's basically saying is there's a shift now that this new energy can come in. This is usually a solid offer coming in. And remember, this is quite often about romantic love, but it also can be about love of anyone or anything. And it could be something that you love to do or love to be. So going from the bottom to the top and back down, we have conviction beyond a doubt. Now that you know what you know, there's something that happened back at some point in time that you had to overcome, forgiveness or healing of your heart, that type of energy, so that you could move forward again. And it went back to when you were a child, but that made it so that you could be taken advantage of. I feel your energy, your innocence was more naive, and now it's more a choice to be innocent and to go back to that energy, but with the discernment of the Queen of Swords. And this is talking about the Knight of Cups coming in with a lot of passion, and you have the passion now. And of course, this energy is about making this shift to be able to move away from your comfort zone and into this energy. So it's pretty cool in reading here. We're going to clarify for those of you who want clarification. This is from my oracle, as I said, Tales from the Vector. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they are in my gallery on my website, Tales from the Vector. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And we already have this one. I explained this, the degradation of this promise. But now you're being given another chance. And look at, that would be the 10 Cups here again. The Hierophant is traditional structure. And this is about justice coming in. And we have justice over here as well. And so I do feel that this is basically saying this was destined for you anyway, that you would meet this person, these soulmates. It's an agreement you made way back when at a soul level. This is a spiritual level. And so the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor for this to happen. It always has been. It was never taken from you. You just needed to learn the art of discernment before moving forward with this energy, so that you would know what you want and make sure that you don't end up with a situation that breaks your heart because it's not really your soulmate, if that makes sense to you. So the Hierophant is responsible for bringing justice in from the spiritual realm down to the physical. This is saying you're a star, you're always meant to be a star, and remain innocent. That's your superpower. Innocence is a choice. People can, a lot of people feel that, oh, if someone's really kind and they appear not to be bothered by what you do or not understand, a lot of times they might just be playing dumb because they don't want to involve themselves in that energy. It's just as simple as that. And they choose to remain innocent by choice and have a childish nature because they enjoy that type of energy. But it doesn't, sometimes people will mistake that kindness for a naivety and do their best to take advantage of it. It never works out in the end for your favor. This is, the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor because it was meant for you. You can't take somebody's destiny from them, and they can only take it from themselves. And this is justice now coming in at this level. And I don't know, for some reason, I just got that you're going to have a whale of a time now when you, and there is kind of a whale here, if you look. So this is a battle star. And the battle star is talking about having the courage to be able to go back and do that work, that inner work, so that you have the strength to move forward. There we have it. So this is talking about having the strength and the integrity to move forward so that you can recognize your soulmate when you see them, and you'll know it's your soulmate because you won't have any foolish expectations. So expectations create limitations. And so basically what God is saying here is, don't expect this to be your regular type, maybe that someone that you would normally date, because quite often soulmates come in and they're kind of like, they seem like an odd couple, very different from what you would normally date. But that's the whole point, because you know, when you get talking to each other, you'll probably find out that, oh, I had that happen when I was a child too. And my parents had, you know, split up when I was that age, or all these different things. And so there's a very deep understanding, and that you have an ability to really have a lot of harmony when you speak to each other. And you know, this energy of being able to speak your truth and be your authentic self around someone is totally gone. You're a star, they're a star. You're meant to meet. You're meant to empower each other to have this beautiful lifestyle. And when you get together, then the pentacles, I feel, will be coming in. There'll be justice in that area. All right, so this is a little bit of a different reading, and I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please do give it a like and comment if you do, and I will also consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. I will be back with another random reading for you soon. Bye for now.